Right, I need to tell you about something that happened in my clinic just last week that absolutely blew my mind. A 76-year-old bloke walks into my office in Auckland, and I'm thinking, here we go, another case of incontinence I'll need to manage with medication or surgery. But mate, this guy tells me he goes tramping for 3 hours straight through the Waitakere ranges without needing to stop for a pee. Not once. At 76, I asked him, how on earth are you managing that? And you know what he said? 1 tablespoon of pumpkin seeds every morning on an empty stomach. That's it. Been doing it for years. Now, I've been a urologist here in New Zealand for over 15 years, and I've seen thousands of men struggling with urinary incontinence, but this absolutely got my attention. Look, I know what you're thinking. Dr. Fraser, that sounds too simple to be true. And honestly, I thought the same thing until I dug into the research and started recommending it to my patients. The results have been nothing short of remarkable. So stick with me here, because what I'm about to share with you could genuinely change your life, and it won't cost you an arm and a leg or require you to go under the knife. But before we get stuck in, I need you to do 2 things for me. First, leave a comment saying, I choose to live freely. It's not just words, It's a commitment to yourself that you're taking control of your health. Second, if you know a mate who's dealing with this, share this video with him. You could be the one who helps him get his life back. Sweet as. Right, let's get into it. Now, here's something that'll shock you. Worldwide, over 400 million people are dealing with the urinary incontinence. Yeah, you heard that right. About 15% of men over 60 are struggling with this, and heaps of them suffer in silence because they're too embarrassed to talk about it. And I get it, I really do. It's not exactly something you bring up at your local RSA or down at the pub, is it? But the consequences go way beyond just the physical discomfort. Think about it. How many times have you had to suddenly abandon what you were doing, whether it's watching the rugby, reading the paper, or having a yarn with your mates at the bowls club, just to rush off to the loo? Or worse, how many times have you avoided going on that South Island road trip or spending time with your grandkids because you were terrified of an accident? That's not living, that's just existing. And you deserve better than that. The impact on your mental health is massive too. Studies show that men with incontinence are 3 times more likely to experience anxiety and depression. The constant worry about potential accidents leads to isolation, avoiding social activities, even giving up things you love, like your Saturday morning golf game, or volunteering at the community centre. And look, I've seen strong Kiwi blokes, guys who've worked hard their whole lives, absolutely gutted because they can't control their own bladder anymore. But here's the good news, and I mean really good news. There's a natural solution that's been used for generations, passed down through different cultures, and it's so simple, it literally fits in a glass. No invasive surgery, no expensive medications with nasty side effects. Just natural ingredients that actually work. I've seen it help hundreds of my patients right here in New Zealand, and it could do the same for you. Now, before we get to the solution, you need to understand what's actually going on in your body. Urinary incontinence happens when the muscles and nerves that control your bladder aren't working properly. It's not just one thing, it's usually a combination of factors. First up, you've got pelvic floor weakness.
Yeah, I know most people think that's just a women's issue after childbirth, but it affects us blokes too.
especially as we get older. Your prostate plays a big role here as well, and as it enlarges with age, it can put pressure on your bladder and urethra. Then there's hormonal changes. Your testosterone levels drop as you age, and that affects the strength and flexibility of your bladder tissue. Add in chronic health conditions like obesity, diabetes, or even Parkinson's, and you've got a recipe for bladder problems. And of course, there's natural aging. As you get older, your pelvic muscles lose elasticity, making it harder to control your bladder. It's just part of life, but that doesn't mean you have to accept it. There are different types of incontinence too. Stress incontinence is when you leak urine when you cough, laugh, sneeze, or do physical activity. Urge incontinence is that sudden, desperate need to pee with barely any warning. And mixed incontinence is when you've got both happening. Not fun at all. Here's what really gets me though. So many blokes think incontinence is just a normal part of getting old and never seek treatment, even though there are effective ways to manage or even completely solve the problem. You don't have to just put up with it, and that's what I want you to understand. Right now, here's where most people go wrong. And if you're making these mistakes, you're actually making your incontinence worse without even realizing it. But the good news is, changing these habits can make a massive difference. First mistake, drinking fluids at the wrong time. A lot of people think if they drink less water, they'll need to pee less. Wrong. When you don't drink enough, your urine becomes too concentrated, which makes it more acidic and irritates your bladder even more. That actually increases urgency and your risk of infections. What you should do is sip water throughout the day to keep your bladder healthy, but avoid drinking heaps right before bed so you're not up all night. Make water your go-to drink and steer clear of fizzy drinks and those sugary fruit juices from the supermarket. Second mistake, eating foods that irritate your bladder. Certain foods and drinks inflame your bladder and make incontinence worse. I'm talking about coffee, black tea, alcohol, spicy foods, citrus fruits, and artificial sweeteners. Now, I know what you're thinking. Dr. Fraser, you're taking away my morning flat white. Look, you don't have to give up everything, but try cutting back and see how you feel. Instead, go for anti-inflammatory foods like bananas, oats, kumara, and leafy greens. Swap your coffee for herbal teas like chamomile or fennel. Your bladder will thank you. Third mistake, neglecting your pelvic floor. Weak pelvic floor muscles are one of the main causes of incontinence, and most blokes don't even think about strengthening them. But if you don't exercise these muscles regularly, they lose their ability to give you good bladder control. The solution? Kegel exercises, and they're easier than you think. Imagine you're trying to stop peeing midstream. Squeeze those pelvic muscles for about 5 seconds, and relax for 5 seconds. Try doing 10 to 15 reps 3 times a day. Over time, you'll notice you can control your urine better and have less leakage. Sweet as. Fourth mistake, holding on too long. Ignoring your body's signals can overstretch your bladder and weaken its muscle walls, making you more susceptible to infections. Plan to go to the toilet every 2 to 3 hours, even if the urge isn't super strong. This gives your bladder healthier habits and prevents those sudden, desperate urges. Fifth mistake, not managing your weight. Carrying extra weight puts additional pressure on your abdomen and pelvic area, making incontinence worse. I'm not saying you need to become a marathon runner, but eating a balanced diet and doing regular exercise to maintain a healthy weight will help heaps. Activities like walking, or even a bit of lawn bowls, Strengthen your muscles gently without putting too much pressure on your joints. Now, here's the part you've been waiting for. The natural home remedy that can help you get rid of urinary incontinence. This is a time-honoured formula that's been passed down through generations in various cultures, praised for its ability to support urinary health. The secret? Natural ingredients with properties that support the strength and function of your bladder. Here's what you need: 2 tablespoons of pumpkin seeds, 1 glass of lukewarm water, about 200-250 ml, and half a teaspoon of honey if you want to sweeten it up a bit. That's optional. Here's how you make it. Chuck the pumpkin seeds in your blender, pour in the warm water, and blend for about 2 minutes until it's smooth. If you prefer a sweeter taste, add the honey. You can strain it if you want to avoid any seed bits, then drink it straight away. When should you have it? First thing in the morning on an empty stomach to maximize nutrient absorption. How long? Drink it daily for at least 2 weeks to notice initial improvements. After 2 weeks, you can cut back to 3 times a week to maintain the benefits. Now, why does this work? Pumpkin seeds are absolutely packed with zinc, magnesium, and antioxidants. These are essential nutrients for strengthening your pelvic floor muscles and improving bladder function. Research even suggests that regular consumption can significantly reduce how often you need to pee and decrease the intensity of incontinence symptoms. But there's more to it. The anti-inflammatory properties in pumpkin seeds help prevent urinary tract infections. They regulate hormone levels, which supports bladder health, and they provide healthy fats that promote tissue regeneration in your urinary tract. Pretty amazing for something so simple, eh? Now, I know some of you are thinking, can't I just eat the pumpkin seeds straight instead of blending them? Good question, and yes, you absolutely can. Eating them raw or roasted will give you the same nutrients. But here's the thing. When you blend them with water, your body absorbs those nutrients more quickly and efficiently. The water also helps flush your system and keeps you hydrated, which is crucial for bladder health. So while munching on pumpkin seeds as a snack is good, the blended version gives you a more concentrated dose, first thing in the morning, when your body's ready to absorb it. And for those of you wondering about other pelvic issues like prolapse, here's what I'll say. Pumpkin seeds and pelvic floor exercises can definitely help strengthen the supporting muscles, but if you've got significant prolapse, you need to see your GP or a specialist. Sometimes you need additional interventions like pessaries or, in severe cases, surgery. But strengthening your pelvic floor is still beneficial and can prevent things from getting worse. Here are some extra tips to boost your results. Combine this daily drink with Kegel exercises to strengthen your pelvic floor even more. While you're using this remedy, avoid those bladder irritants like coffee, alcohol, and spicy foods, and keep a consistent sleep routine because good rest helps reduce nighttime urination. It's just a few adjustments and one simple drink, and you can start seeing a remarkable transformation. This natural, cost-effective method is designed to give you back autonomy and control in your daily life. No more planning your day around where the nearest toilet is. No more anxiety about accidents. Just freedom to live your life. Look, I've been working as a urologist here in New Zealand for over 15 years, and I've seen every treatment under the sun. Medications, surgeries, devices, you name it. But I keep coming back to this simple remedy because it works, it's safe, and it's something you can do right now without waiting for an appointment or spending hundreds of dollars. Just last month I had a patient, a 68-year-old retired builder from Christchurch. He'd been struggling with urge incontinence for 3 years, getting up 5 times a night to pee. Couldn't go fishing with his mates anymore because he was too worried about accidents. I told him about the pumpkin seed remedy, taught him proper Kegel exercises, and helped him adjust his diet. Within 3 weeks, he was down to once or twice a night. Within 2 months, he was back out on the boat, living his best life. That's what I want for all of you. Now, I want to be straight up with you. This isn't a magic cure that works overnight for everyone. Some of you will see improvements within a week or 2. Others might take a month or more. And for some, especially if you've got severe incontinence or other underlying health issues, you might need additional medical intervention. That's okay. This remedy is a brilliant starting point and works fantastically as part of a comprehensive approach to managing incontinence. If you've tried this for 4 weeks and aren't seeing any improvement at all, or if your symptoms are getting worse, you need to see your doctor. There could be something else going on that needs proper medical attention. Don't muck around with your health. But for most of you watching this, combining pumpkin seeds with better lifestyle habits, pelvic floor exercises, and avoiding bladder irritants will make a world of difference. You'll sleep better, feel more confident, and actually enjoy your retirement instead of being controlled by your bladder. So, here's what I want you to do right now. First, leave a comment with your age and how long you've been dealing with incontinence. This helps me understand who's watching and what content you need. Second, rate this video from 2 to 10 and tell me what city you're from. This helps us reach more Kiwi blokes who need this information. Third, and this is important, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss future videos where I'll be answering your questions and sharing more natural health solutions. And here's something special. After you've tried this remedy for 2 weeks, come back and leave another comment telling everyone how it's working for you. Your experience could be exactly what another bloke needs to hear to give this a go himself. We're all in this together, huh? I'm also going to be doing a follow-up video specifically about pelvic floor exercises with proper demonstrations, because I know a lot of you aren't sure if you're doing Kegels correctly. And I'll be covering prostate health and how it relates to incontinence, because that's a huge concern for many of you. Look, I know it's not easy talking about this stuff. Us Kiwi blokes aren't exactly known for sharing our health problems, are we? But the thing is, you're not alone. Thousands of men right here in New Zealand are dealing with the same thing. And by sharing information like this, by being open about solutions that actually work, we can help each other live better lives. You've already taken the first step just by watching this video. You've acknowledged there's a problem and you're looking for solutions. That takes courage, and good on you for that. Now take the next step. Get yourself some pumpkin seeds, start that morning routine, do your Kegel exercises, and watch your life change. Remember, true freedom starts with that very first step, and you've already taken it today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Kia kaha. Stay strong.